Hi guys, this is Michael from the Board Games Chronicle. Today I'm starting a short series of materials about 3 games from the Compass Games which use the same system, namely no piece without Spain. So we will discuss in those 3 movies, 3 materials, all those games. Today we'll focus on No Peace Without Spain, talking about the War of the Spanish Succession. In the second material, we'll focus on the 9 Years' War, which was kind of a prelude to this game, and they can be actually combined. And the third will be focused on the pragmatic war, so the War of the Austrian Succession. All 3 games follow the same base system, although there are some twists and tweaks. So let me move those for time being aside, and let me just move it to you. Let's focus on the No Peace Without Spain, the War of the Spanish Succession, 1702-1713. Game designed by Don Hendon and of course published by the Compass Games. Before we jump into the actual components, couple words of explanation from a historical perspective, because I believe this is important. So, No Peace Without Spain is of course a card-driven game. This is a game for 2 players, and this is depicting, as the name says, the War of the Spanish Succession. This was a war fought primarily to determine, the fate of the Spanish throne, but at the same time it was a continuation of the clash between Bourbons and between, Habsburgs. In the game terms, Bourbons are supporting Philip V, so the French claimant to the Spanish throne, and the alliance, so Habsburgs and their allies, are, supporting the Austrian claimant, Charles III. And this would be the main let's say, background of the game and main historical theme. It was a pretty long war, as you can see, because it was like 11 years. It took some time yet to find the final conclusion. By the way, this game was published first in 2011, and I have the version from 14th year before. There were upgrades and updates to this during the time, and as you shall see, for example, in the copies of the further games like 9 Years or Pragmatic War, the components would be already upgraded here. So let's see what do we have inside. By the way, maybe we can first of all also look at the back of the game, because I would like to show you something here. I like how nicely this back shows all the elements of the game, the point-to-point map, the number of multitude of counters which represent corpses from various sides, various countries, and also named leaders and smaller leaders. 2 types of cards, which we shall see. And the metric regarding the playing time, around several hours, complexity, how many pieces, and the size of the map, plus all this historical background, which I told you about the details of simply the war which was taking place there. Now, I believe we can firmly jump to the contents. First of all, we have instruction rulebook. This is still the rulebook which is printed in black and white. As I said, in the upgraded versions, you will already get the glossy, nice, colorful, but it's only, to show you exactly what the game is about. First of all, we have definition of the powers, Bourbon power, consisting of France, Bourbon, Spain, Bavaria, Savoy, and you have on the other side alliance powers like Britain, Dutch Republic, Austria, Empire, Portugal, Savoy, Habsburg, Spain, so on. So a huge alliance from which actually at some point in time the British moved away, withdraw. We have a definition of the spaces of the map, of course, standard explanation of the markers, of the leaders. Each leader has 2 ratings, tactical rating and command rating. Tactical rating is connected with dice you will be rolling. Command rating is connected with how many corps you can actually command, and also there's a color below which shows which country you are aligned with. There's one fun guy, Marlborough. He actually, to have a full effectiveness, will have to have corpses both from the Dutch and British, and we shall see this counter later on, how it's being represented. These are the corps. Then we have cards. I will show you the cards. We have two types of cards, event cards and action cards. Event cards are separated from action cards and they are played at the beginning of a turn. Action cards are used to simply do the actions during the game turn. Maybe I will not talking about the spaces, but about victory, I believe we should say. This is a game in which you can either win automatically, and automatic victory is here. I believe taking of Paris, Vienna, Paris is alliance controlled, so this is automatic alliance, let's say Habsburg with victory. Vienna or Amsterdam is Bourbon control, which would be automatic Bourbon, victory. Of course, if a VP threshold of 30 or more is breached, so there is a huge advantage, it will also be victory for the alliance. If it's at 0 or British withdraw, it will be Bourbon victory. If there is no automatic victory, at the end of the game you check the victory points which you score, for example, for fortresses, mainly for fortresses. This will be pretty critical and crucial. Okay. Successful sieges, converting also on unfortified spaces to your side. Famous victories, control of Mediterranean, and peace negotiations, concessions. So those three will be fundamental. Okay, I will not be going through the whole rule book, guys, because I would like to show you more stuff. Yeah, we talk about movement, fortified lines, we talk about battle, combat. It's pretty straightforward. Each side totals the number of battle dice. One die for each full strength corp, one half for weekend corp, maximum up to 2 friendly leaders, die, and of course demoralized leaders will roll a little worse, type of die, or they will score on the worse, value. And then once you calculated value of dice on both sides you roll, 5, 6 gives you a hit. If you are demoralized leader, you will only roll on 6 or demoralized corp. Pretty straightforward mechanic of battle resolution, quick. Also capturing and eliminating leaders, pretty hard to do, by the way, but yeah, not impossible. Famous victory, probably you are interested in how to achieve it. You need to smash at least enemy with 5 actual hits in battle, including retreat, and destroy at least 2 corp. A very big section we have about sieges. This was important, and for the victory points too. Then we have Spanish events phase. There will be, control of Madrid resolution, Spanish loyalty markers, and so on. There could be also Habsburg Spanish uprising. At the end, winter quarters, where you check the victory conditions, of course, reinforcements, possibility of British withdrawal, and peace negotiations. And that's all. The rule book is not overly long, 19 pages, pretty nicely written down. At the end you have scenarios, tournament, historical British withdrawal and full game, with the setup and some special situations in all of them. Whether you have peace negotiations, whether you have British withdrawal, and when is the last turn. On top of this you have special rules for 1702, so the start of the war. Then you have a really nice example of play. Pity we don't have here pictures, but you can set it up on the map and see all the stuff on your own. Not many pictures. Okay. What else do we have in the box? First of all, as I told you, we have the cards. It's actually a version which I already have in Cube for Me cube for me trace. So these are the action cards, 2s, 1s, and 3s we should have, yeah, to do the action. And here I believe we'll have events. Yep, we have events here. Various events which will happen. Some of them will have a long-lasting effect. Yeah, those 4 will have long-lasting effect, the red ones. So we have a special, display for them. So there is a lot of effects which will be impacting the game, and I really like it. So let me put it here. And the similar approach will be in further games, of course. Now the counter, something you are probably waiting for, to see how does it look like. So we have counters of both sides. We have blue counters, of course, France, and we have, let's say, 10 counters of the alliance. You can see various countries: Austria, Dutch, Empire, Portugal, British. This will be, I believe, Savoy. So the alliance have, corpses for various sides. French also have several. So you have the basic French, but you have also Spanish, for example. Here we have demoralization, markers. Here we have control, alliance, or Bourbon. Yeah, we'll use the die to resolve the games. We can also use army boxes. If we have too many counters in one space, you can use the army box. Yes. These are the minor leaders. These are the major leaders. For example, this is the major Austrian leader. And yes, of course, you will also have fortress strengths, and you will have sieges, so continued siege, which will be impacting and inflicting hits on the fortresses. I'm looking for Marabout. Let me just move it here. It moved from there. Wanted to show you one thing, but I don't see him. Okay. Maybe during another occasion. One thing which is interesting, some of the leaders start as a minor leader, but they can be promoted to the major leader, yeah? So they were developing during the war. So not too many counters, I believe like 160, not very counter-intense game, which is good because it speeds up the game. Then we have some action charts. So actually this is a player aid which stipulates the actions you can do: campaign, transfer, replacement, rally, sea movement, deploy, actions, rules, some important tables. So you do not need to look up all of this all the time in the rulebook. Sequence of play, how you resolve the battles, how you calculate the hits, how you do the sieges. The sieges in those times can be very long if the besieging side was ill prepared, but they can be also very quick if they have enough, firepower and materials to do a proper siege. Last but not least, the map, of course. Okay, let me open it up. Yeah, this is a paper map. In the upgraded versions, you can also get the mounted map. So what do we have? You can see the point-to-point maps. You can see Madrid worth 10 VPs. You have those, 1 VP fortresses. Larger fortresses will have numbers like Barcelona 2, Bayonne 2, Bordeaux 2, Clermont is 5, but this is not a hex which is, fortified. Here in North Italy, you have Turin for 3 VPs, and yeah, the fortress is free. In the north, you will see, Lille, a very huge fortress, and you will see a lot of Dutch and Belgian fortresses to Spanish Netherlands, and then the Dutch. And it goes up to the Austria home spaces. The Bourbons cannot actually enter those spaces. Here you have a game record track where you mark all this stuff which is used. Here you have those big armies. Sorry, yeah, which you can put the counters here and move only on the map. Here is the space for some of the events which are permanent. This is really cool because you simply put the card here and it really helps. Spanish loyalty, turn track. As I said, this is a very neat, quick and fun to play game with pretty straightforward rules, and I'm not surprised that it has several continuations to this. So guys, that's everything for today. It's a short, brief unboxing and overview video for the No Peace Without Spain, the War of the Spanish Succession 1702-1713. Very interesting system, which was created by the Compass Games, and will have 2 additional games also covering the topic. That's all for today. If you like this video, do not hesitate, please give thumbs up. If you like to see more content like this, please subscribe. We'll definitely continue with 2 further games in a series of 9 years, the War of the Grand Alliance, and Pragmatic War, the War of the Austrian Succession. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.